Hey everyone, it's Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. Welcome to my channel. So on today's video, I have to do some maintenance around the yard. It's around end of June, early July, and things are getting out of control. The yard has exploded, pathways are getting blocked, plants need to be cut back and so forth. So today I want to take you around and show you a couple of things on what I need to do. Whereas first is I have an Oakleaf Hydrangea that I need to prune. I've got some Hosta. There's some staking that has to be done, and a lot of cutback as well. I may do a little bit of harvesting depending upon how time allows. So come along with me. I love if you can please like, subscribe, comment to this channel for more gardening content. All right, let's get started. So my first project that I want to work on is this Oakleaf Hydrangea. Has a lot of bent blooms, so I want to go ahead and trim it and then also shape it up for next year as well. So Oakleaf Hydrangeas bloom on old wood, so what you want to do is you want to prune it right after it's done blooming, so that way it could set all of the wood for next year on there. So I'm a little bit torn with this Oakleaf Hydrangea because I want to leave this larger leaves here because they give beautiful fall colors, but also it's getting a little bit ruly and I do need to trim it. So that's a little dilemma that I have right now, but it is taking over. I have a plant in the back there. I don't know if you can see it. It's taking over there, so I may need to do some selected pruning there and prune some of the spent blooms over here. So let's get working on this. So tools for today is I have my pruners, and I'm gonna use some gloves as well on there. I like using the medical grade gloves instead because I can feel what I'm doing. And regular garden gloves I'm not a big fan of, and these I typically just get from Amazon. So all I'm doing is I'm going down to the bottom of the stem where the bloom ends, and I'm just cutting it there. While I'm there, I'm cutting off my Hosta blooms as well too. I love this Oakleaf Hydrangea because I got, when I planted this probably 2 years ago or so at this point, or maybe 3, I'm not really sure, the years just blend. It was basically two sticks, that's it. And it has blossomed and grown into this massive shrub, which I absolutely love. The structure of this, I love the leaves, everything about Oakleaf Hydrangeas. I love it. So I'm done trimming the Oakleaf Hydrangea. I couldn't bring myself to trim this leaf off. I wanted to keep it for the fall because it turns to a beautiful orangey color in fall, and I wanted to see that, so I'm leaving that. I am going to trim it probably towards the end of winter because all the other blooms over here will give flowers next year. So I'm going to trim this and that one, but I think otherwise than that I have a good shape for this right now. And I don't know if you can see all of my mess down here, so let me clear that up and we'll move on to the next project. Next project that I need to work on is cleaning up this bed in front of the willow tree. So my hostas have done blooming, so I don't like leaving all of these spindly bits, so I'm going to go ahead and trim them so it looks a little bit neat and tidy. And what I'm doing is I'm just basically following the end of this and then going all the way down to the base of the plant and then snipping it from there. So let's do some cleanup there, and then there's a couple more other things I need to do for this particular bed as well too, that I'll bring you along and we'll do some tidying up. All right, so the next thing I want to do is my feverfew, which is these white flowers here. The back part of it, of the bed, they are done blooming for the first flush, so I want to go ahead and tidy that up so they don't look so spindly. So let me adjust the camera and then I'll go ahead and start trimming them. So on the back one, I don't like when it looks like this. On the back when it's done blooming, so I usually go all the way down to the base and then I trim it from there. So with feverfew, they're evergreen in our area, so don't worry, I'm not damaging the plant. They're going to grow back from the base, but I'm just going to go ahead and trim it up so height wise, when you look from front to back, it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And you're probably gonna think, oh my god, she cut out all of the flowers. It's okay, it'll be back, it'll bounce back in a couple of weeks. The garden is at a stage where everything is kind of overgrown, so I'm trying to manage things a little bit. Eventually, I'm thinking of turning this bed into a perennial bed, so we'll see over time. I'm going to come around from the front and just see what it looks like. I think I'm done with this bed, just to give you a little bit of an overview of what it looks like. I've trimmed out all of the feverfew, deadheaded the dahlias as well, and then also deadheaded the splendid bloom from the Hostas. So I think that looks much better now. The last project I want to do today is these Dara. I've gotten to the point where you can't walk down the stairs because they're blocking it, so I really do need to stake them. So let's go ahead and get that going. So I've got some garden stakes here. These I got from Tractor Supply. I think I mentioned in another video, but any garden center you'll have stakes. There's different versions of it. So I'm just going to go ahead, and because this Dara is fairly heavy, I'm going to use several stakes to get them up off of the stairs. What I'm trying to do is, some of it could be cut back by now, but I want to let them to self-seed a little bit because I really do love Dara and I would love to transplant it throughout the yard. Now I did stake this earlier in the season, and as you can tell, it got really too heavy for the stake that I used, so I think I need to go ahead and use something a little bit more sturdy for that. So I've got my scissors and my plant tie, and so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it really long this time because I don't know how much I need. And alright, let's attempt this, see how it goes. I'm using my foot to brace the Dara while I'm tied, so hopefully that works. I know I'm gonna have to use multiple sticks here, multiple stakes here because this is fairly heavy. I did not realize that Dara grows that big, but again, this is like one of my favorite things. I'm so happy that I was able to finally grow them after years of trying. Not sure why I didn't succeed before. I think it was more of a germination issue before that I had. I cut it too short. Hold on. I started gardening maintenance work earlier in the morning, and it got really hot. so I decided to come inside and then come back out. So now it's about 7:30, I believe, which it's cool down, and I'm just going to continue my work until it gets dark. So now at least you can pass by it. Kind of like when it's come together. Like, this is the only thing that I don't like about staking, is that the flowers don't look beautiful anymore. They just look all come together, but I needed that because you couldn't walk down the stairs on here. So I think that should be it for staking the Daras for right now. I do have some Rebecca, which let's go and stake that as well.
So at this point I am saying that my Rebecca needs to be staked, so I'm trying to stake them. And also I'm talking about during the garden season, my family typically don't like to walk to the side of the step of the stairs because it always has plants in the way. So I'm trying to stake these up so that they can walk comfortably down the stairs. While I'm at it here, I'm gonna go ahead and stake the cone flowers or echinacea. I staked them earlier in the season, but they need to be staked. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it as I have all of the things that I need to stake the plants.
So I have to do some harvesting. So this is broadleaf time. So I'm Guyanese, and this is like a staple in our cuisine. So broadleaf time, and you'll hear fine leaf time. The smell of it smells a little bit like oregano. I'm not sure what they call it here in America, but in Guyana we call it broadleaf time. So it's gotten a little bit out of control, so I do need to prune it. And then I'm also in the process of making some green seasoning, which for us, we just take a bunch of herbs and blend it up with some pepper, garlic, and so forth, and that becomes the base on when we cook. So I usually try to make my green seasoning and put it in the fridge for the rest of the year. Just come winter time, this wouldn't exist anymore. And for my broadleaf time, what I typically do is in the fall, I'll break the stems, root it in water, and then keep it indoors until spring and bring it back out. So let's get harvesting with this. I want to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see the leaves on this, or the sunlight. Gives really great flavor. And look at the length. I could leave this and it'll grow a lot longer than this, but I want to make everything look a little bit better in the yard, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim them. And usually you cook with the leaves and not the stem so much. I'm going to go ahead and process these, wash them, and some of it I'm giving away to my parents as well too, to give their co-workers who also use this in their cuisine. Alright, I think this is more than enough. Let me bring it up so you can see it. That's a lot of broadleaf time. So the last chore on my list for today is pruning some of the perennials. So I've got yarrow that's done blooming for the first flush, and then I've got a lot of blanket flower that needs to be cut back as well. It's now taking over the pathway, so I need to clear that out. So let me just spin the camera around so you can have a full view of everything. So see how it's taking over the pathway? I just need to be able to trim that and then do a little bit of deadheading as well. So let's get going. Sorry about the lighting. It's middle of the day here, which is not ideal for filming, but this is the time that I have. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the yarrow, what I'm doing is I'm cutting it back. And then same thing with the blanket flower. I'm just cutting it back on here. Now, what you could do is I'm going to take the seeds out, the seed head, and I'm just going to toss it back into the bed because that would dry and produce flowers. I think the bed looks good now. So the pathway you can see clearly, you can walk through. I cut all the edges out, deadhead some things. So I think overall the bed's looking good now. I hope you enjoy watching me doing some garden maintenance. Again, everything has completely exploded. I'm trying to maintain the yard so it doesn't look like a jungle, which it's starting to look like that, to be honest. But this is what typically happens this time of the year. Would love if you can please subscribe to the channel, like and comment, share the video. Tell me what ideas you want me to, what type of video you want to see. So give me some ideas in the comment section. Until next time, happy gardening.